All right, I want to talk about the Jacob Chasley video, aka Q Shaman, insurrectionist, destroyer of democracy, all that stuff that they said about this guy. And I'm not going to talk about this because I like Q Shannon, or what is it, Q Shaman, his name, Jacob Chasley. Like I am a big follower of his, a supporter of his. What I am is a supporter of the truth, facts, and what's going on in our country. I didn't know what Jacob Chasley did. I saw the stuff. I have my premonitions of what I believed he did, but I couldn't prove anything. Then the videos start to come out. And we can never get bipartisan support in anything in this country, right? Can we agree on that? So all of a sudden you have the left, Chuck Schumer, all the other people who were the January 6th perpetrators of that whole investigation. They're coming out talking about this is a breach of American security. I don't know how, because all it is videos for you to view as an American and see if what they're telling us the truth. And that's why they're all having a meltdown. The people on the left, the news media, the rhinos, because then shortly after, Mitch McConnell comes out and again doesn't address anything that we saw on the video. Instead, he diverts and starts talking about, well, I believe what the police commissioner, whatever he called that person, says in this report. That's all he talks about. He doesn't address anything. He doesn't address how Jacob Chasley was perceived as an insurrectionist, a violent MAGA supporter who went in and tried to overthrow the country. This is without a doubt how they portrayed this guy. They made him the face of the whole MAGA movement, the whole insurrection thing. So then what happens is little clips start to arise of what actually happened or what he actually did. And if you watch those clips, you can sit here, and I've seen people on social media try to support that what Tucker Carlson did is a lie. Forget about what Tucker Carlson says. Look with your own eyes and see for yourself exactly what Jacob Chasley did. Obviously, he was inside the Capitol, right? We can all agree with that. He was inside the Capitol. That's without an undeniable fact. But they built a narrative around him again as an insurrectionist. But we also know that there were people who were let into the Capitol by police. We even have a video of a woman screaming at a guy that is now believed to be a Fed saying, why are you pushing me inside the Capitol? I don't want to go in there. So they then paint this picture of Jacob Chasley, but they show you nothing else. All they show is him screaming inside of the Capitol building, saying prayers, all this other stuff. But when they show him, they edit clips showing the violence that's going on outside. So all make it look like he was part of that violence. But we don't know that because they actually have no videos of him breaking in, committing any acts of violence. So therein lies the problem. It's nothing that they said that this is a breach of American security, a breach of democracy. The fact is they have an American citizen that they wanted to build up as committing all kind of criminal, heinous crimes. Yet we have video and we don't see that. We see clips of him, then clips of people outside committing violence, but they never show him committing violence. In fact, they show the complete opposite. They show him walking around with police, attempting to open doors, and he doesn't come, and they can't get in, so they escort him to other parts of the building. Is that an insurrection? Is that the purview of someone who's committing all kind of heinous crimes against the government, trying to overthrow the government? No. Now, was he guilty of trespassing? Perhaps. But they don't even show you how he gets in the building. I guarantee you they have a video of him how he gets in. I want to see that video. Because if Jacob Chasley was invited into the building by the police, which he goes on to praise them, says a prayer, and includes them, is that the view of an insurrectionist, a violent criminal? Hell no. And again, I'm not saying it because I cheer for Jacob Chasley. I say it because they made this guy the symbol of what happened that day because of the way he looks, the way he dresses, and his firm support of MAGA. But we live in a country today where we're not supposed to judge people by the way they dress, correct? If you judge a man because he dresses like a woman, something's wrong with you. If you judge a woman because he dresses like a man, something's wrong with you. So why is it we get to judge Jacob Chasley just because he's walking around with horns on his head, some paint on his face, and they want to make him the image of what happened on September 6th, the face of this whole supposed insurrection? So what do? They go on TV and start losing their minds. The media is attacking Tucker Carlson. The government is attacking Tucker Carlson. They're demanding all this stuff gets pulled off of the news. The question I ask you is why? And it all goes back to what I say, because they built this narrative up. And if you see with your own eyes what actually happened, you start to question again the government and the things that they're doing. So they can't let you see what actually happened. How could I put this into a similar situation? Let's say they had a video of a man who was the victim of a robbery. So they show you a video of someone getting attacked by another man. He's walking around with his cell phone. A guy assaults him, punches him, takes his cell phone, and that's all they show you. They end up convicting the guy who took the cell phone and give him 20 years. For whatever reason, they did what they did. But then you come to find out later on that this guy had a history with the government and they really just wanted to convict him. And then they go back and they show you the whole video of what actually happened. And it turns out what happened was he attacked this man, took the cell phone because that man himself had originally robbed him, took his cell phone, and he was just going after his own property. But they never tell you any of that. To me, this is almost a very similar situation. What they've done is they've created this persona of a guy who was a violent insurrectionist. They overthrew the Capitol. They don't show you that people were waved in, and democracy is in jeopardy. And we have to convict these degenerate MAGA supporters. When in actuality, that's not what even happened. Look at this other video. I want to show you this other video that just came out. But they'll sit here and this is why they're losing their mind. Because listen to this. Does this sound like an insurrectionist?
Respect the landmarks! Respect the Capitol! He said he saw his Twitter account, Donald Trump.
We're gonna pull up the tweet. Donald Trump has asked everybody to go home. We're staying. Okay, then stay, motherfucker. I don't give a shit. This is America. You guys want to stay? That's fine. Donald Trump has asked everybody to go home.
Yeah, hold on, wait. Read this. Hold on. Here, read this. Read it.
Donald Trump, quote, I am asking for everyone in the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect our law enforcement.
Listen to him right there. He's telling people go home. Donald Trump told people go home. We are the party of law and order. But they portrayed this guy as a violent insurrectionist. This should send chills through everyone's body that they portrayed this guy as this. Again, did he go inside? Now, we have to find out. Was he allowed inside, or was he on the side where all the people were getting violent, punching cops and fighting? That's the big question. Because if he was one of those, then maybe he deserved what he got. But apparently this isn't what happened. Does this seem like a guy who's being violent right now? Does this seem like a guy who wants to go inside and overthrow the government? This is why they don't want you to see that. Don't believe all the other lies they're telling you. For people in government who have lied to us like crazy over the last 2 years, why would they suddenly start telling us the truth? Bottom line is this. They're framing Americans for violent crimes that appears right now this guy didn't do. Why? Why wouldn't they want us to see all the true video that comes out? Let us decide. They can't be the arbitrators of truth. Let the people decide what is true and what is not true. But they don't want you to, and they won't let you to. This is what I'll leave you at right now. If we continue to let people build these narratives that aren't true and arrest people and put them away for 4 years in federal prison when they actually may not have done what they said they did, All I can say is this. One day you will dissent with this government, and you could be the next Jacob Chasley. Do not allow these people to mute videos and censor videos that could actually exonerate someone from lies against them for crimes that they never committed. Let's, as people, have one agreement, and that's not allow our government to become tyrannical and frame people and set people up for crimes they never committed. Again, because you could be on that list next. Unless you're going to be a good old boy and listen to everything daddy tells you from here on in, let's not allow this to happen. And I'm going to leave you with this one more little tidbit of information coming from someone who was former law enforcement. I'm shocked and I'm hurt that anyone in law enforcement would go this far to convict someone and not tell the truth of what really happened. Doesn't that sway you a little bit and say, they portrayed this guy as a violent insurrectionist, yet he's being escorted all around the Capitol by police? If that's the case, then the police are also the violent insurrectionists. They were also trying to help overthrow the government. Am I not right? In any courtroom in the world, you can convict someone of any crime if you only show tidbits and bits of information that you have. In America, that's called exculpatory evidence. You can't hide evidence that could help clear someone. Why would our government do this? I think you know why. I think many of you are starting to see what's happening, but you have to show this to people who are on the fence. People, not forget your leftist friends and family. They're never going to give in. They're always going to be like, oh, no, this is all about Trump. They have TDS. That's an incurable disease. But show this to your friends and your family members that are like, damn, what the hell's going on in America? Why is this happening? Those are the people they don't want to see this stuff. Those are the people, the regular everyday normies, the people who are not involved in politics. They don't want them to see this stuff. That's why they attack Tucker Carlson. That's why they censor you off of social media platforms. That's why you get banned from different places when you try to talk about and show the truth of what's going on in this country. Again, think about it. It's two things before I go. They either are trying to cover up the crimes that they committed, not that Jacob Chasley committed. This stuff actually exonerates him probably from some of the charges he was charged with, or they're just lying because they think you're too stupid to actually decipher real-time information. Now, I don't think they think you're too stupid. I think they think you're too smart. I think they say if people start to see the BS that we're actually pushing along with the mainstream media, we're going to be exposed for the true criminals that we are. Anyway, please share this video if you like it. Let people see that we have a government that has gone all out biblical in lies to us. They've gone all out biblical in framing people and arresting people who don't agree with the narrative. And one more thing I want to say before I go. Think about what the Democrats have done in big cities. They've basically taken people who've committed heinous crimes, shooting people, murders, robberies, burglaries, and basically let them right out of jail after they commit these crimes to either wait trial or to dismiss these trials. Yeah, you have people that they claim try to overthrow the government. We know that didn't happen. And they've kept some of these people in prison for 2.5 years already. And all they did was trespass inside of the Capitol. Now, one more question. Are these people in politics more important than you? That they allow these criminals out on the street that are committing these heinous crimes, they just let them walk? Or these people who trespass that these so-called politicians were fearful of, they say, because they were trying to overthrow the government? Which again, we know is not true. Was there violence? Absolutely. Did they assault cops, some of them? Absolutely. It appears this guy definitely didn't assault cops. Were any cops killed as a result of what happened on January 6th? Absolutely not. They keep saying it. It's already been debunked, and don't let them say that. And when someone says it to you, show them that's absolutely not true. I am a supporter of police. I am a supporter of law enforcement, but I am not a supporter of people framing people for crimes they did not commit. And anyone who does that is a piece of human garbage. They have a narrative, and we cannot allow America to counter into this third world country where they just make up crimes, they hide evidence, they hide exculpatory evidence, and then you get people thrown in jail for 4 years. Anyway, I'm sorry I ranted on, but this stuff to me is very disturbing as someone who was in former law enforcement, that I see people getting framed for crimes that to me they obviously did not commit. And if he really did commit it and they thought they could convict him of it, again, I ask you, why wouldn't they want the jurors to see this exact stuff that we're now seeing now? There's no reason to hide it. Video evidence is some of the best evidence you can have. They don't want you to believe that now. Instead, they want to call it all this other stuff. But video evidence speaks for itself. There's always other stuff that goes involved with video evidence. But that's one of the most telltale signs when you convict someone of their actions. And apparently his actions do not fit the crimes he was convicted of. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.